Alături de mine astăzi la studioul Euronews, domnul Manfred Weber, președintele Partidului Popular European. Thank you very much for being here. Good day.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Și alături de mine este colegul meu, Euronews World, colegul meu Șandor Jiroș de la Bruxelles. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we'll start our conversation because there are a lot of messages here at this Congress, your big Congress, for Ursula von der Leyen and for all the messages for your family. You have a lot on your plate, and today we are looking about the main messages that are sent here in Bucharest. Which are those?
The European People's Party, as the biggest party in Europe, we send a message of stability. In times of uncertainty, with war in Europe and with also the economic challenge on global level with China, we are keeping Europe together. That is our main message. We need strong and firm leadership. That's why Ursula von der Leyen will be nominated tomorrow as our lead candidate. And we will discuss today the manifestos of our key programmatic ideas for the future of Europe. People can count on us. That is our main message.
We are looking about a very strong message on security. How is this important for Romania and for the European Union?
Well, all over Europe, people are really concerned. There is war in Europe, in Ukraine, and nobody knows how the next steps and possible plans of Putin really will look like. There is a lot of uncertainty. And that's why our main message is we want to keep peace, at least inside of the European Union. We cannot guarantee it in Europe because Putin attacked Ukraine unprovoked, but we at least can protect peace inside of the European Union. Probably the biggest promise of European integration, that we can live in peace. And to do so, from our point of view, it's necessary that we strengthen ourselves, that we defend our peace from our own strengths, and that is the main message. That's why to build up a European pillar of defense, to do this together, to invest together, save also taxpayers' money if we do it together, that's the main message of today. So to protect peace is deeply rooted in the EPP program.
Chairman, let me have a question. What do you think, how far did the European People's Party changed in the last 5 years since the last European elections, and what are the main elements of this change?
Well, politics change, the demand, the requests from citizens change. So when we started this mandate, it was obvious that the question of climate change is and was in the center. And I'm proud because Ursula von der Leyen was leading this with the Green Deal. We show the world that we bring ecological responsibility together with economic growth. That is what we have to do. Then we had Corona, very tough, very hard. We established then, Ursula von der Leyen, also Angela Merkel, Klaus Johannes here in Romania, we established a recovery fund, 750 billion euro. Romania is getting 30 billion euro out of this fund to invest into the future of the country. We do solidarity, we do it together as Europeans to recover after the Corona crisis. And now we have war. That means to build up the military strengths of Europe. So in this way, yes, things are changing, you are right, but we are giving the answers to the demands and requests of the moment of time. And there, Europe was always in EPP hands, in good hands. That's why we can go to the voters and tell them, please trust again in EPP.
Talking about the Green Deal, it was the child of the von der Leyen Commission, and EPP was always supportive. But now recently, in the last year, we have seen movements, especially from the EPP side, maybe watering down this package. How do you see the future if von der Leyen will be again European Commission President? What's going to be the future of the Green Deal?
I'm 52 years old, and I tell you, for my generation, the fight against climate change is probably the biggest, the most important task for all of us. It's a historic question to stop climate change. That's why our commitment is crystal clear. We are the party who fights against climate change. We are the party of Green Deal. The Greens voted in the European Parliament against the climate law. We voted in favor of the climate law. So that's why we don't need Greens and Left for doing so. We show the world that we are leading there. But you're right, on the way how to achieve then climate neutrality, there are different ideas on the table. And the Left is going a quite ideological way. They are forbidding, for example, the combustion engine. And we think we should have clear goals that in 2035 no car Should any more produce CO2? I'm fine with this. But the technology, how to do it, with a combustion engine or with an electric car, that's up to markets. That's up to the engineers, to the sellers of a car. So we should do this in a technologically open way, to not give our jobs to the Chinese, to the South Americans, to keep the jobs inside of Europe. So that is in a way the debate we have there, and people can trust in us. We take this issue extremely serious, but we want to do this in a pragmatic way and not in an ideologically driven way.
And how far is your migration policy that was outlined in the election manifesto is a pragmatic one? We are talking about the EPP is now willing to outsource migration camps, for example, migration processes to third countries. Isn't it a gesture towards the far right?
We solve problems, and today we have too many migrants arriving on our soil. That is the reality. So when you talk with Austrians, with Germans, with Belgian friends, with Danish friends, the reception centers are full. Our mayors don't know how to handle the situation anymore. That's why serious politics must give an answer on this challenge. And yes, we want to protect people in need under the Geneva Convention. We stick to the principle of asylum in Europe, no doubt about this. But 60% of all people arriving in Italy and Greece have not this kind of status after a legal procedure, after a formal legal procedure. They are illegal migrants, and illegal migrants have to leave again Europe. That are the rules. As you at home, you have the right to say when you open the door of your home, you have the right to say you can enter and you cannot enter. You decide about who is entering into your house. The same right has a state to say on the external border you are allowed to enter, and probably others are refused to enter. And this kind of principle must be implemented in the external borders. For me, this means the state decides and not smugglers decide who is arriving in Europe.
And where is Romania situated here? Because the migration issue is also always put in front by the Austrians, and our ministers who are in charge with migration say that the numbers are not the ones that the Austrians are talking about.
The European People's Party is fully on the side of Romania and Bulgaria. The facts are clear. After a lot of assessments from experts, Romania and Bulgaria are fulfilling the Schengen criteria. They have the right to join. So what we have on the table is more a quite populistic debate in face of the elections, and not really a serious debate. And I have to make clear that this is a quite Austrian debate, because in Austria the populists, the EPP party and the Socialist Party are against Romania joining the Schengen area. So we have not a party political question there, we have a national question there that all parties are opposing. We have to overcome this. I want to praise the Romanian leadership now with Klaus Iohannis, because in the last steps at least we have now the opening for air and sea borders, that this is already one step now at the end of March, but we have to push that in this year 2024 Schengen can fully be implemented in Romania and Bulgaria.
And how will the EPP deal with Mr. Nehammer on the matter?
We have to try to convince. That's Europe. We cannot impose something. We have to convince step by step. Again, already the air border and sea border is a good step, that they show the willingness. And I hope that until the end of this year, we can also finalize the whole enlargement process. That is what we are fighting for, what we are arguing for. And the Romanian people can count on the EPP, on PNL, also on Klaus Iohannis in the leadership, that we are fighting for this.
When we see the pause before the European elections, it is clear that the next European Parliament might be a little bit more right-wing parliament than it is today. And when we see the European People's Party, it is, for me at least, also becoming a bit more right-wing than it was in the past. Maybe you disagree with this, but I would like to understand, how far are you ready to cooperate in the next electoral term with Eurosceptical forces, for example, with the party of ECR, with, for example, the forces of Giorgia Meloni, who have very similar views when it comes to migration than your views?
The European People's Party is the party of the center-right in Europe. We were always this party, and we will be the party in the future. Look to leaders like Ursula von der Leyen. So there is no doubt about our basic ideas. Look to the success stories of Donald Tusk in Poland. That shows you the DNA of European People's Party. We defend rule of law. Sanchez in Spain is ready to even make an amnesty for condemned terrorists. So we don't need any lesson from socialists and Greens about rule of law. We defend rule of law in Slovakia against Fico, in Czech Republic against the corrupt Babiš from the Liberals, in Malta against the socialist Muscat, who was involved in the killing or at least part of the process on killing journalists and so on. So that's why our standpoint is crystal clear as Christian Democrats on this continent, and we will be the first in the first row to defend Europe against the nationalists. I defined as party leader 3 key principles about who is a partner for us and who can never be a partner. Every partner must be pro-Europe, every partner must be pro-Ukraine, and every partner must be pro-rule of law. And that excludes all cooperation with PiS in Poland, with AfD in Germany and with Le Pen in France. So our red line is clear, the firewall is clear, people can count on us.
Let me ask you a final question from my side. It's about Ursula von der Leyen. As I understand, European People's Party is now in a listening mode. Listen to the people, to the worries of the everyday people. But I haven't seen Ursula von der Leyen going to the farmers, going to villages to talk to them. She was talking to politicians, she was talking to industry leaders. Are you sure that she's the right one and she will have the support also of the European population, given the fact that she's also not running for the position to become an MEP?
Ursula von der Leyen started now the institutional dialogue with the farmers on European level about implementing the necessary changes, biodiversity, climate change, in a way of listening, of taking care about the arguments from the farmers, but also from the environmental side. So that's why we are the party who is not lecturing, who is first of all listening. And we will do this now in the campaign situation. We want to do this together with citizens. We know that there are fundamental changes in front of us. The world is quickly, fastly changing. And that is really a challenge for all our citizens. My main message as EPP party leader is, if we are ready to change, if we are ready to adapt to the development, the European continent is so strong, is so capable to manage these things. We should not be afraid about the future. If we do it, we can do it. We are ready to do it, but with the approach of listening first before politics decides. And that is our EPP approach. So we ask for support. We are in campaign situation now. People decide. And the first message is please participate, please take the vote serious. And the second message is vote for center-right, vote for EPP. We create stability, we create a good future for Europe.
EPP is the biggest party in the European configuration, and I wanted to ask you what is the message and what is the focus that EPP is having on the border eastern countries, border with the war, and how are you looking to helping Ukraine and to go alongside the NATO in this conflict that is at the border of EU?
We are gathering as European People's Party today in Bucharest, in Romania. For me, this is already an important political message. We care about the Central Eastern European countries. We take them serious. We treat them equally as the rest of the European Union. There is no first and second class European. We are all together. And you said it, you are in the front line to Ukraine, here in Romania, but also in other countries. And that's why we have to strengthen, we have to support our friends here. For example, also in the Republic of Moldova, a small country which needs a lot of attention. Also in the lead, there we have a president from the European People's Party. And that's why full support for them. Whatever we can do, we have to do now in this moment of time. So Romania is, in a way, Budapest is, in a way, already a political message that we define ourselves as a party of Central and Eastern European countries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If you allow me one last personal question, what are your personal ambitions after the elections? Because you have been a Spitzenkandidat, and we are not sure you want to have, just keeping the leadership of the political group, or you want to have any other top job after the elections?
Well, probably I'm currently in a situation to say I'm happy what I'm doing. I'm having the chance to lead the biggest group in the European Parliament, and I'm the president of the biggest party in the European Union. And we as Christian Democrats, we as European People Party, we have a huge responsibility now. And I want to serve. I want to contribute that we keep Europe together. We fight against Putin and we are winning also peace and prosperity for the future. So in this regard, the answer is quite easy. I want to keep my current role. I want to continue, and I feel a lot of support among my EPP friends here in the family.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you
so
very much for
Thank
this
you so
interview.
much.